Good morning, Bob from Trade Genius here. It's the 11th of March, and doing a follow-up because yesterday I talked about Litecoin. Phil talked about, hey, the Friday trade. I showed you guys that on Thursday nights, a lot of time going into midnight Friday Pacific time. You also get a pop in the coins, and since my trading coins are Litecoin and Ripple and Monero, I watch for those push downs, and we got one here and went long. And then I also told you that I got out yesterday at 182, had a sell signal, set a stop, and it triggered. But I also said that what's happening here, and the reason why I share this information with you guys is two things. I do these videos for two reasons, obviously. One is to educate. I'm absolutely a firm believer in this, and when silver starts to rock and roll, that's going to be another area that we're going to have a lot of fun and make a lot of money. But the other thing too is obviously I'm marketing, the Trade Genius brand, and would love you guys to join us and trade, and just to show you that we know what we're doing and we can help you make a lot of money. And so one of the things I said yesterday is that what happens is that Friday night the Asians are trading, is a Saturday for them. They go to bed and you get this pull down. And so what I did was I waited for it to come down, and when I went to bed, that's usually when Asia is waking up, and I went and I put my buy order in. And one of the things that I share with you guys is I have these linear regression lines on here for a reason, because trading's visual, and so you can see things. You don't have to. Trading's not complicated. It's just hard, and so you see things. You're like, okay, we're flat. We're consolidating. I like the hourly. Look back over the last 100 hours. You're looking back essentially almost a week. Gives you a good sense of what's going on. And when we have a flat market, then my signals are fine, but they tend to be squeezed in. But I look for these breaks of these linear regression lines. So we broke down here. I'm going to bed, and I went ahead and I set back a buy-in at 177, so I'm back in. So and now we're at essentially 187. So in at 160, out at 182. That's 22 points. Back in at 177. Now we're at 187. If you grant me a point here, so now I'm up 30 points. Okay, on $170, and that's more than 10%. And I talk about 10% a week. My goal, I think it's aggressive, but the market allows you with the, I don't want to use the word volatility because it doesn't really apply here, in the sense that volatility is a technical term of basically risk and not risk with puts and calls. This is really just the true range of these is just fantastic on cryptocurrencies. So why I love to trade them. And so you can get a move here where essentially, if I think what's going to happen, I'll have a 20% weekend, and if you can average 10% a week for a year, you're going to turn your portfolio over 8x. I mean, that's, if you have $1,000, you're talking $250,000. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that possibility exists out there. And for me, right now, from the beginning of the year, is that I've already had one double turn, okay? And I'm working on my second double. And, a couple weeks were flattish. I didn't make any money. To chop kills you. And then a couple weeks I had doubles. So, but at the end of the day, you're grinding out the possibility of 10%, 5% for sure. You should be able to do 5% a week trading cryptocurrencies. It just gives it to you. It gives you 3 to 5% most weekends. Even if you just traded Friday to Sunday and you went to cash for the week, you would you do quite well trading the cryptos. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So I'm actually going to just set my stop at 178, and at this point, because I think what's tracing here is basically a inverted head and shoulders. Okay, and if that works out, you're at 160 to 190. Okay. So 190, you add 30 points on the 190, you're looking at 220. And so that's kind of where I'm at with Litecoin. and money flow's turning back up. It's going to be an interesting week in the stock market. I think they shot their load this week, going into OPEX next week, and if the cryptos are kind of confirm the opposite of the stock market, is if crypto start to move, then high risk is coming back into the stock market. That's what I'm going to watch for. And then you got Bitcoin here. Bitcoin looks a little bit more fragile, but it's also tracing out an inverted head and shoulder. Not classic, but what it's saying here is that, hey, we had a sell-off. That sell-off was confirmed. Okay, that sell-off now is not confirmed anymore. And so now if you go ahead and you get, if we break this 9,500 area, then we start climbing back up again. And then you can measure this move out, 8,200 to 9,400. 9,400, you're looking at 10.6. And that brings us right back and gets that sell-off out of the way. And then once that happens, then I think we go back in, we try to assault the highs again. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you, and I'll be back a little bit later. I'm going to talk about silver later. Sorry, my dog's barking. I'll let you go and take care of him. Thanks. Bye-bye.